On a planet far, far away, there lived a boy by the name of David Zinjon, who vlogged every Friday!
Screaming to hate to the Lord and mine, I really want. Is that day already? Oh, it's Friday. You know what that means. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 5 of Film Talk Fridays with David. I'm your host, obviously David, and today's topic we'll be talking about becoming a filmmaker. Basically what I'm going to be talking to you about is what are the basics you need to in order to start filming. Now, before I continue, just letting you know, I started off the same way what I'm going to teach you, and then it escalated to being more professional. So, I was once one of everyone, and now, you know, things have changed over time, improvements have come, so let's begin. So, first things first, you want to become a filmmaker? The question might be, what camera do I need? Now, that's going to be the first thing that someone's going to look into, a camera. Now, you want my best example of a camera? A phone. Now, obviously not this phone, this is actually pretty new, but when I started, I filmed with my iPhone 6. Still pretty good phone at the time. I didn't really film movie-wise, like, you know, action and all. I mainly filmed more visual videos of like time lapses. Maybe I caught shots of the city, add some cool music to keep it with the flow, make it modern, and that is how I started filming. All I did was pop my phone out. Maybe I had like one of those little foldable tripods you can get on Amazon for like 10 bucks, and I just went around, just filmed it with my phone. It kind of felt a little wonky because, you know, when someone wants to film, you expect to have like a big rig walking around with like a monitor and everything, like, oh my god, like, this guy's professional. Doesn't really mean that. There are people who could make amazing films just by using a cell phone. So if you want to become a filmmaker, just take out your cell phone, start recording, there you go. Now, to explain about like editing it wise, if you have an iPhone, you're pretty much set. If there's a software called iMovie, you can use that to edit. It's very easy to use, nothing too complex. You can even edit on your phone. If you have an iPad, you can edit on your iPad, or if you have a Mac computer, the laptops or the desktops, boom, you already have iMovie. That's like the easiest and best software to use for editing. Now, to talk about more advanced, to get actually buying the equipment, like right now what I'm using is Panasonic HC V770. Wow. I've been using this camera for so long, I forgot the name already. This is the camera I currently use for obviously filming these episodes as well as making my movies. This camera does all the work. Now, I'll be right back and I'll show you what another camera I use. Poof, I'm back. Now, the next camera I'm beginning to use, but mainly this was for photography, is the Canon EOS Rebel T5. It's a very good camera. Yeah, I'm looking at them, so I'm gonna make sure it's in focus. This camera I got just for photography, but I didn't know until literally recently that I can use this for filming as well. It has perfect quality, it's just the microphone option is gonna be a problem, but that's why I have this rig set up and all that stuff. Now, I am not showing off the expensive gear I have. That is not the purpose of this video. The purpose is to talk about basically when you want to film, what you need to use. And I'm just talking about personally of what equipment I use and you can eventually use in the near future. But I'm saying this first, if you're beginning to be a filmmaker or anything, start off with a phone. Eventually you'll build up to this stuff. To top it off, it's nothing too complex about this part of the episode. It's just basically telling you, do not spend all your money right away buying the expensive stuff, because I've done that personally. I spent a lot of money on my monitor, microphone, tripod, and a camera slider that I rarely use because I don't have exactly the time to actually use it, and it's just been sitting there for so long, and then now recently it's coming back to be used. It's just, the point is, do not rush on buying all the expensive equipment. Just because someone has a huge rig does not mean they know what they're doing. It just means they have a lot of money they can spend on. Trust me, personally, trust me, I've seen this happen. There are people who have really nice stuff, but what they make, pretty bad. So don't get discouraged at all. Remember, I started off with a phone, and then eventually, once you get good at it, invest in better gear, and you'll make amazing movies. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned on the next show of Friday Film Talks with David. And I forgot the name, but Matt, do not get mad at me. It's your fault confusing me with this.